Kia ora, I'm back. What can I say? It's been hectic. We had a couple of floods which knocked out a bunch of trees in our forests, dumped a bunch of silt all over our paddocks. In fact, this is what was piled half a metre deep across a bunch of our paddocks. So I've been pulling out fence lines, putting them back in again, spreading silt, putting seed in, all sorts of things like that. Disaster stuff. It's been quite fun really, but it means I haven't had much time to work on my bonsai. So I did a couple of videos over winter, but I never got around to putting them up. I'll give myself a couple of days to get this one up. So what I've been up to the last couple of weeks, I have been water blasting out my whole nursery, shifting everything around, repotting everything. I've got to just start getting into these ones. That's today's mission, is to start looking at these, work out which ones are ready to be chopped back to their pretty form. I didn't want to chop back too hard. I have done some, as you can see, but I didn't want to have them too hard because I gave them a good root pruning, and I want to make sure they have enough push to keep looking pretty through the season. These ones definitely need working on. I don't want to get these little branches in the top too heavy, especially, so I'll probably start on those ones. Bought some shitty little pots from Temu, so I thought I'd make some shitty little trees. I bought some 50 Cedrus Atlantica Glauca, blue ones. They're just coming away now. They've had a good root prune too. Set them up to be bonsais. Just radially pushed all their roots out sideways. Picked up a few interesting beech trees along the side of the road. These are last year's plants, so this will be the second growing season of these red selection. There's some older ones over here. I brought all my sort of B grade trees down from my other nursery. They're in here now too. They also need a prune back. The red over rock tridents, which if you've been watching this channel you'll be familiar with, I haven't repotted. I've just let them go for another season. I just want to keep them fairly small and not push them too hard. Some root over rock, red maples, some toltra, which I've just given some funky forms, and we'll see what happens to them. These are for the farm. This is all for the farm. Some nice little coffies coming through, and all my other trees up at the other nursery still. This is this year's seedlings, about 4 or 5, maybe 6 different sorts of maples, quercus, pyracantha, larches, and this is all my cuttings. Lots and lots of material to play with there. Oh, and outside I've put in this big area, haven't filled it up yet. I'll probably put watermelons down there for the season. These are tridents that grew about 1.5 meters tall. I chopped them right back. Black pines. I'm going to let these let the candles go, and I'm going to take some cuttings off them, which I'll probably offer quite a few up for sale. I put a whole lot of red maples and some bloodgoods, actually. These ones, what I found with bloodgoods is they don't really push very hard in pots. So I'll put them out and we'll see. But even these ones in the ground have gone terminal already. See, they've finished their growth. That's alright. Probably get some new growth coming through. Put a bunch of prostrate coffi in. See what I can do with them. And these are the blue totara, manapori, I don't remember now, but I really just want to grow them into like decent sort of big bushes, and then I'll start sorting them out. Some more of the Cedrus Atlanticas, and then a whole bunch of my B grade maples, which I just was getting sick of, so I'll chuck them on the ground here and give them a good push, and then have a look at them. Maybe they'll become a larger grade tree. and oh, what are these things called? Little yellow flower, I don't remember now. But again, I've had those in pots for maybe 12 years and they've done very little, so I'm going to give them a good push. So that's me. Now, I still have a whole lot of fencing to do. So I'm going to be pushing pretty hard today to get some of these maples done. Starting with I guess like a Shohin size maples, these ones here. We'll get some of these up on the bench and have a look at them. Now I'm pretty sure with this much leaf there's got to be some decent root growth happening now. So I think it's safe to start pruning them back. What I need to watch out for this time of year is, well, it's aphids. There's watering because it's starting to get warmer. And it's a very, very well drained, very open mix that I've put them in. Bit of pumice and chunky bark. Now I could totally strip these and regrow them as a smaller leaf, but I think I'll do that maybe next year. My main concern right now is that I don't end up with big chunky branches which I just can't use going forward. I'll end up having to chop them off again anyway. So I'll just quickly take some of these off to give it the approximate shape that I'm looking for. Taking back to pretty much the first pair of leaves, or right back if I don't feel like I can use that branch at all because it's got too long an internode on the first one. First internode's too long, like this one. Actually that wasn't so bad. But it was still a bit out of the profile of the tree, which means out of the form that I'm aiming for. Now this will really put the brakes on because the tree will suddenly have a whole lot less sugars being produced, which is what the leaves are doing, producing sugars or creating cellulose. The O's part of cellulose is it means it's actually a sugar. You know your basic organic chemistry. So that's brought it back to the shape of the tree. I'm still looking eventually to have it maybe here, so it's a bit more of a twiggy canopy, so another couple of degrees of ramification. What I'm wanting to make sure now is that I'm not losing my bottom branches because they're being too shaded from the ones above. So I just want to make sure there's a bit of space, bit of gap. Haven't got branches coming from over here getting in the way of it. Looks pretty good. So I've got branch here, branch, and then they kind of just devolve into the canopy. You can see here I've actually got quite a thick piece already. So we'll get another flush, it'll be smaller. Upright shoot there, going straight up. And I'll reduce these back as well. I don't want much growth in the top. Okay, here we go. That didn't take too long, but I do have another big stack of them to go through.